Hello everybody, this is Oak Tree Tarot Reader here and welcome to my Pick a Card video. Today's theme is cleaning up your career in time for the new year. So it's a companion video to my earlier one that I posted, which is cleaning up your love life for the new year or for the end of the year. But this, specifically the career. So I want you to remember that this is a general reading and it's aimed at a lot of people, not individuals, so not everything's going to make sense, to resonate with you and sort of speak to you directly. But there might be something within the reading that does help you in regards to your career. So we've got options 1, we've got option 2 and option 3. So I'm going to put the timestamps to each of these 3 readings in the description box, along with my email address in case you would like to contact me, and a link to my Instagram account. So I want you to take a deep breath, close your eyes, focus on your career, where it is, what's happening in it, and make your choice. Don't overthink it, trust your first instinct, the set of cards that you're just irresistibly drawn to. If you need a little bit more time, then please press pause, because I'm going to be moving on to reading 1. Alright, those of you that chose option 1, here is your reading. So these 3 cards represent what you might want to consider sweeping out of your life when you think about your career. So attitudes that you have towards your career, or actions you're taking, or whatever, you know. Ooh, 6 of Chalices, 6 of Wands, Knight of Pentacles. Okay. Okay, I feel overall for a lot of people that have chosen option 1, that's what's going on is that you probably started off at a very young age thinking this was the career for you, way back in your childhood, that this is the thing that would make you happy, that it would bring you success, maybe even public recognition, but that you would certainly be very victorious in this career, and that although it will be incredibly hard work and maybe a bit of a slog, a bit boring, that it would achieve something, that there would be something tangible at the end of it. And these are the things you need to let go of to sweep out of your life, this thought process. You know, that it's going to make you happy, that it's going to bring you success and victory, and that it's going to bring satisfying hard work. Because whatever your career is, and there could be many, it's not going to provide that for you. It doesn't mean that you have to give up your career or end it or whatever. It's just you have to let go of these attitudes. So they're probably hindering you in some way in terms of your career, whether it's progression or even getting on that ladder. Yeah. I think you just think 6 of Chalices, 6 of Cups, it's like childhood, nostalgia, happy memories, doing things that you know will make you happy, like known joy. So you're sort of like, this does make me happy, you know, or that it will make me happy. It made me happy before, so maybe you've done this job for a while. For some of you, it doesn't mean that you wanted to do it since you were a kid, but maybe you've doing it for quite a while, since you were quite young. Maybe you started doing it when you were a teenager. And you're like, well, when I first started, and for those first few years, it really, really made me happy, so I should stick with it. And I have had some success. You've maybe got a few bonuses, some promotion, and you sort of progressed as far as you can with it. And you're sort of thinking, well, there's even more for me to go forward with. And that, you know, if I keep working hard at it, I will succeed. But the reading here is saying that no, those attitudes, you need to get rid of them for some reason. So maybe there isn't the promotion there that you were hoping for. Maybe it doesn't make you as happy as it used to, and you're actually at the phase that you need to walk off, and that you're working too hard at it. For some of you, you might be working far too many hours, or working too hard in the hours allotted to you. Maybe you're working unpaid overtime, or this could simply just be that you're just too slow moving, that you're getting nowhere fast. I mean, the Knight of Pentacles is one of my most favourite cards because it does represent the hard work. This is a person that you can rely on. You know, if you say, I need you to get this done by 9 tomorrow, they'll get it done. And they're happy to do the dirty jobs, the boring jobs. You know, if a job needs doing, they will do it and do it well, to a high standard. So it's not that you've been neglecting it. I think you're possibly just a bit of a workaholic, maybe, because you're wedded into this idea of success and doing something that you know has in the past brought you happiness. But you need to let go of those things for some reason. For some of you, that resonates. You've got to let go, because I feel that this situation's holding you back from true success. Yeah. Working too hard, possibly at the same thing for far too long, and the success isn't there. You know, it used to be there, or maybe you've had some success recently, but you know it's not going to take you much further than where it already has. So what we have next are 2 cards that represent what you need to embrace in your career, to move towards, that are working for you, that are doing you good. So we have the Four of Winter, Four of Swords, and the Ace of Autumn. So let's look at these so I can see what you're meant to do. Set aside your concerns for now. You can make a decision later. Solutions that come from meditation, the need for more sleep, or a vacation. So clearly some of you really are working too hard. Some of you might be getting a lot of rewards, others of you probably aren't, but you're convinced that they're going to turn up. Maybe they're not. Maybe they are actually, because we've got this card left to go. But you need to take a break from that. It's sort of mental rest, the Four of Swords, Four of Winter. You know, setting aside your concerns for now. This fairy has gone into hibernation over winter. And of course, we're talking about, the reading is designed for sort of the end of the year. So the very end of autumn and the beginning of winter. So you need to sort of take a step back. It's saying don't make any firm decisions about your career at this moment. You need, I think, to take a break from it, and having that distance from it will allow you to see things more clearly, because you won't be in the midst of it. You won't be at that point of, yeah, woo, I'm the person on the horse getting all, you know, in the parade, woo, you know, birds flying, there's like confetti everywhere. Yeah, so you need to stop working so hard. So if your boss says, can you do overtime, say, I'm sorry, I can't, I'm burnt out, I can just do my hours that I'm doing at the moment. You've also got to embrace a windfall of money. Well, wouldn't that be nice? I do hope you get a windfall of money, or advice, maybe from me, or assistance from others. A very successful project, a happy change in your career. I suspect that for some of you, the time is to consider a happy change in your career. So that's not an unhappy one, but a happy one. And you don't have to wait for an opportunity. I mean, if you have a look around you, open your eyes a bit, see what else is going on. I mean, all of these 3 are travellers, and these 2 are sitting down. So maybe you are looking and looking and looking, but there's not necessarily anything to be found. But maybe it's just within you that you can manifest your own opportunity. You don't need, maybe some of you can get something going yourself. So instead of constantly looking out for employment, maybe some of you are now at a point where you can start looking within. You know, and that sort of assistance and support and advice is about starting your own business, maybe, where you can control your own destiny a bit more, and your hard work does get the rewards you want. Some of you are possibly going to have a project in your lives at the moment, and you need to focus on that. So if it's generally in work that you're feeling that resonates, that you're sort of coming to the end of your happiness there's something new for you to work on and to look towards. because there's this happy change in your career. But you can make that happy change. You don't have to wait for it. Remember, none of these things will come into real life until you take action to make them real. So yeah, I think that's generally the message for you, is to not work so hard, relax a bit, take a bit of time for yourself, and start looking elsewhere, but from within, for new employment. I mean, you might feel that just going to another company, you know, where it's the same career but for another company might work for you, and that's fine, because that's the happy change in your career. You do have options. So if you're unhappy and you want to clear out the dead wood, that's your reading, those of you that chose option 1. I do hope that it's helped you, that it's resonated with you and made some sort of sense to you. Please let me know in the comments if that is so, if it's helped you or anything. Thank you very much for listening. Please take very good care of yourself, and I wish you all the best of luck. Bye. Okay, those of you that chose option 2, here is your reading. So these 3 cards represent what the sort of dead wood that you might want to consider clearing out of your life when you think about your career. So we have the Honored Guard, which is the Emperor card. The Lady and the Lord, which is get it to focus. The Lovers card. And the Page of Pentacles. So that's 2 major arcana cards in what you need to sweep out. So, okay, I'm thinking that a lot of the people that chose this option are looking to be the boss, whether that's a promotion in the place that you're already working, or you have your own business and you're looking to expand your workforce to hire a few extra people. Or just to progress and maneuver on up within your team that you're currently in. So it's saying to you to let go of those things, if that resonates. I'm going to go through the cards individually, but overall, that combination, yeah, that for whatever reason at this time or with this group of people, it's just not working. So the Honored Guard is the Emperor, which is the authority card, the power card, being in your own authority. And quite clearly, this man here has a good working relationship with all these animals that, you know, sort of have their heads bowed and they are subordinate to him. But this is something that you need to leave behind. And I feel that you are the Honored Guard, that you want everybody either to revolve around you in the workplace. Now that doesn't mean sort of a desperate desire for attention and just to be the life and soul, but you want in some way to be very important in your career or your workplace, and you need to let go of that. That you're, I don't know whether it's to be top dog, would that be a thing? You know, it's about being in your authority, but this is something you need to let go. So maybe you're just too far into that. That you're too far into your own power in this workplace in some way, that it's just not helping you. It doesn't mean that you're bossy or that you're a nightmare to work with. It doesn't mean that at all. It just means that it's not helping you. Because at its worst, the Emperor is somebody who's petty and bureaucratic, you know, gets everybody mired in red tape, and there are jobs worth, like, well, you've had an extra 2 minutes on top of your break, so you'll have to pay that back. You know, I want you staying 2 minutes after closing time, or I want you to clock in a bit earlier tomorrow to make up this time, and I don't want it to happen again. You know, they're a bit unyielding and a bit sort of, we must obey the rules. You know, and so you've got to let that go in some way, that's really not helping you. However you feel that manifests for you, that you need to let go of that, because I don't feel that you are working very well with the people around you. Because we also have the Lovers card, which is about a choice, really, a decision to be made, and it's also about like the perfect partnership. So this is something that you've got to leave behind, and this is strange to me because we've got the card of sort of the solo authority, with the card that represents working in peace and harmony with someone else, because this is a career reading, remember that, by the way. So this is about a good working relationship, about unity. You know, like, so if I was to think about this in terms of a career, for some of you, you might have somebody that you work with that's great. You know, that you're like the duo. You know, like on a TV program or a film where it's the two together, the two sidekicks, you know, the two detectives solving a crime, that for you, that's how that manifests. But you've got to let it go, because in some way it's holding you back. So if you pair between the two of you, this is true, and you're sort of the ones that always make sure that, you know, oh, you know, so and so didn't do this, they were supposed to just file this paperwork, or God, what else, anything, you've got to let go of it. It's not serving you. But also, I think that some of you, it's not manifesting in that way. I really do feel that this reflects the choice, the decision, and you're being told not to make the choice or do the decision, which is very interesting to me, because usually you have to make a choice or a decision, and it's the inactivity that's causing the problem. But I don't. I think for those of you that chose option 2, it's the activity and the decision making that's the problem. It's this making, you know, whatever choice you're making, have made, or the two options that you have, neither of them are any good in terms of your career at this time. Because we've also got, this is sort of the apprentice card. So some of you might be going forward to learn new skills, putting yourselves up for new jobs and new courses. Excuse me. Sorry, I just grabbed a sip of water. You're sort of expanding yourself. You know, this lad's in the workshop learning new skills, manifesting things. This is why I'm drawn to say some of you are looking for new people, because I don't feel that you're the apprentice, but that you're looking for one. Because you've got these two cards, I don't feel that you're the one learning. If you are, and you've got an option of 2 courses to take, neither of these courses would be any good for you, I think is the message. Neither of your options are any good. I don't know, maybe it's 2 employees, they're not the right ones, whatever. But I do feel that maybe at this time it's not to expand your workforce for whatever reason, or to look at exactly who you are hiring, because the choice is not good. I'm going to see what the next 2 cards say, which show the things that you need to embrace, that move towards in terms of your career. And we have 10 of Summer, an emotionally fulfilling life with family or friends, raising children wisely, people you can trust. Ooh, said that about people you can trust. Or maybe some of you, maybe you're choosing to go back to work and choosing what job, but really focusing on family's the deal. Got a bit more space there. And we also have, 7 of Winter, which is 7 of Swords. There is a better choice, not seeing things clearly, running away from the truth. Okay, so some of you are not seeing things clearly and not seeing a better choice. And remember what I said, that I felt that this was about a decision or a choice, and neither of them were particularly good. Yeah. So at this time in your career, what's on offer is not the best, but what's around you, there is another opportunity around you that you need to find. You're not seeing things clearly at this point. So you might want to see there's somebody you trust where you can speak to them. And we also have this sort of 10 of Summer, which is the 10 of Cups. And it's family and friends, and close relationship with family or friends. So there's going to be some people that you can turn to and say, I think something's going on with my career. Am I doing something wrong? Be honest with me. And they will. And they won't do it in a nasty or mean way that's spiteful and meant to bring you down and hurt you. These people want you to thrive. That's why you can embrace them, and they're your family and friends. And they hopefully will be able to bring you some clarity allow you to see things clearly and see this better choice that's out there. So maybe you're just trying to work too hard or trying to do too many things, and that really you're split between home and family, and really there is a third way forward that allows you to balance work and family. Maybe you're like a single parent and you're trying to do too much, but really there are people around you that can support you, you know, and that you're just struggling with it. Yeah, I just find it interesting. People you can trust, and you're running away from the truth. So I don't want you to run away from the truth, by the way. It's just sort of, you need to sort of not do these things, but be aware of them. Be aware there's a better choice, that you're not seeing things clearly, and that you're running away from the truth of whatever that is in your life. Yeah, I think the best advice here for you is to turn to your family and friends and see if they can give you some wise advice on what's going on. You don't have to do what they say. It's just at this time you would benefit from other people's opinions on what's going on. In order to just bring an extra dimension of information on the situation, because when you're in the midst of something, when you're sort of in the eye of the storm, you can't see how intense and large it is. It's only when it's sort of all over and you watch the news footage later that you see how big the tornado was. But when you're in the middle of it, it's just calm, quiet, and buys you a bit of time to run to shelter. And I feel that's where you are at the moment, maybe in the eye of the storm, and you just can't see how big the issue is. And you do need to see how big the issue is, so you can deal with it appropriately. So there you go, those of you that chose option 2, that's what you you may want to consider working on for the last few weeks of the year in preparation for the new year. I hope that's helped you. Please let me know in the comment section if it has. I wish you all the best of luck for the future. Please take very good care of yourself, and thank you very much for listening. Bye. Right, hello those of you that chose option 3. This is your reading. So we have the top 3 cards represent the things that you might want to consider sweeping out of your life when it comes to your career. So we have the 9 of Chalices, we have the Page of Wands, and we have the 5 of Atames, and that's swords in this deck. Atames. So, okay. I feel very much that those of you that chose option 3 are very much focused on working alone. So some of you are literally self-employed, that you're successful, but that you work alone. If you're not self-employed and working alone, you much prefer within your workplace to be left alone to get on with your work. So like if you work in an office or something, you have your desk and you want to be left alone to do that. That you, yeah, very much go alone, do your own thing. You probably get the work done, but also there's a bit of distraction there as well. But also that there's a sense that you don't realise your true value. So let's go over it. Now the 9 of Chalices is the wish come true card. But it's also like this self-satisfied, self-sufficient merchant. But in this card, that this gorgeous woman, it doesn't matter if you're a man, it still counts, that happy, I mean, she's got gorgeous features, hair, she looks healthy and vibrant, she's got nice clothes on, she's got this gorgeous crystal ball and all these chalices. Everything she needs is provided for, and she's alone, so there's this emotional contentment. So at the moment, which is weird, emotional contentment might not be doing you very much good. Maybe you need a challenge. So if you've been in the same place for a long time, doing the same job day in, day out, and you're like, this is great, I don't have to think about it, you might need a bit of a challenge, you might need a bit of a shake-up. It doesn't mean to transform your life, but maybe you could do the project that stretches you a bit, you know, mentally or physically or whatever, but just sort of provides a bit of a challenge. But I feel this does definitely represent somebody working alone and being happy with it. We also have the Page of Wands, which is about it is about exploring your skills and your energies and your abilities, but also about learning and developing them, but very much about working alone to develop these things. I mean, he's been sent off to fetch supplies or whatever, take the donkey out, and he's sort of leaving the donkey to get on with it and doing his own thing, casting his own spells, practicing. So I think that very much you're focused on getting your work done and improving yourself. I'm not saying that you're being lazy, it's just that you're perhaps constantly trying to improve what you do in terms of your career, but very much from your own viewpoint, that you like, oh, I know what I'm doing. Yeah, I just feel that you're pottering on getting the work done yourself. You know, in the morning you're given your tasks, you spend the rest of the day doing them on your own, and then at the end of the day you clock out and go home. But you are completely undervaluing what you have to offer. So some of you are just doing a career that's not going to get you anywhere fast. It's a bit of a dead-end job. It pays the way, it's not a brilliant wage, and it's not going to get any better anytime soon. No promotions, no bonuses, no training opportunities. And this represents that for you, that this man has got all these skills that he can make this dagger, but he's about to probably sell them at a loss or just at their, you know, cost value to this merchant who's like, sweet, I've got this $2,000 dagger for 500, and you know that's 1,500 profit that should belong to this person, but it belongs to him because he doubts his own value. He doesn't feel that he can say, oh, these are worth 2,000 and I want 2,500 for it because I want a bit of profit. You know, if he pushed, this merchant might get a really good deal, but he would still pay what they were worth rather than getting himself a great bargain. So you've got to let go of this not valuing yourself. You've got to sweep out this sort of being content with what you've got, this sort of pottering on alone in this sort of page energy where it's not really progressing any higher, and this sort of devaluing of your skills. This doesn't necessarily mean your goods that you're selling, although if that is something you do, you're not charging enough for what you make. I think that would be a clear message. But just that you're like, what you're paid for your hourly rate probably isn't enough, and you deserve a job that allows you to use all your skills and to shine, but also pays you for that pays you a good hourly rate for all that you bring into work. Because I think you are a good worker with lots of skills, but you're not the person reaping the rewards. Your bosses are probably. That they're getting the promotions and the bonuses and they've got all the managerial perks. But you're the one that's doing the hard graft, and you need to sweep that out of your life, and you need to value yourself more, value the work that you do, and probably for a lot of you communicate with your workers a lot more and socialise within your workplace a lot more. That doesn't mean you have to start going out on an evening with them and go to work do's and stuff and work nights out if you don't want to, but just to chat to people and get to know the people that you're working with and create bonds. Yeah, some of you are a bit isolated, and that might be, you know, just a temporary thing because of whatever's going on in your life, or it might be something that's more ingrained in your personality, and it does benefit you to be able to communicate with your workers and socialise with people effectively, even if it's just in terms of your workplace. You know, we all have friends that we've known forever and that we socialise with, and people that we have friends that are at work, and we wouldn't want to work with the people that we socialise with, and we wouldn't want to socialise with the people we work with. But in terms of those hours where you're in the workplace, you can have a laugh, have a joke, support each other, get on, and everything's fine. So let's see these two cards, what you need to embrace in your career for the rest of the year. 5 of Summer, which is 5 of Cups. Trust that there is a reason for everything that happens. Remove yourself from the negative emotions of others, focusing on that which frightens or worries you. So I wonder whether a lot of you keep yourself out of it because where you're working, it's a bit dramatic. You know, there's always some sort of drama and you're thinking, well, I want none of that. And I understand that because We all have that moment where you think this is just not going to get anyone anywhere. Why are we having all this tension and drama? And you're ready now to say, I'm off from that. But we've also got focusing on that which frightens or worries you, which I feel is probably that scenario that it frightens you to sort of demand what you're worth. And it can be intimidating to say, I deserve a pay increase, or you're not paying me enough for what I make. But as well, what resonates to me in terms of this reading is trust that there is a reason for everything that happens. That doesn't mean that you need to become suddenly particularly religious or trust in a higher power, but that what's going on in your life is going to build your character and allow you to grow and allow you to triumph. That, you know, that if you're having any failures, they're just preparing you for the success ahead. Because every time that you make a mistake or you have a failure, you learn what doesn't work, you know, gain all that experience. And you need to let go of this youthful page energy where you're not really bringing things into fruition, and embrace potential failure. You've got to do things even though they might fail on you, because it's better to try and fail than to never have tried at all. We also have 4 of Autumn. Manage your resources wisely. Achieve a balance in how you spend and save money. Help out those who are less fortunate. That's interesting. So, what you need to embrace in your career is that maybe some of you are overspending and others of you might be underspending. Because if you're constantly frugal and you don't buy the things even that you need, is not good for the economy, because money keeps the economy going around, keeps it lubricated, but also you're just sort of restricting your life. You're just reducing everything down to 0. And the more you reduce your life down to 0, like, oh, I've only got, you know, a little bit of money to do this, oh no, I can't buy that, I'll go for the cheaper option, is you're just not valuing your money, the hours you put in it. You're not valuing the efforts that you put into it, because if everything's reduced down to nothing, you know, in the bare minimum, you're thinking, well, it doesn't matter if I don't get the full amount that I deserve for my work, because I only need X amount a month. Whereas that's not true. What you need to do is value your time and your efforts and say, well, this is what it's worth, and if you don't want to pay it, tough, because there will be somebody else out there that values what I have to offer and will pay what I am worth. And this is where the balance comes in. I think it's balance in your wages, I think, for a lot of you, that you're not getting paid what you deserve. You're not probably spending enough on taking care of yourself, like good food, decent clothing, heating your house. Winter's on us for a lot of people. And you're not doing that. That you're not having the right amount. You know, the 4 of Autumn is the 4 of Pentacles, which is about frugality, conservation, charity, valuing what's really important to you. So some of you are, you know, aren't doing that enough. That you aren't placing enough value on yourself and what you've got in your life and what you have to offer. I don't feel generally that there's people that are spendthrifts in this reading. If you are, the warning is to not spend too much, to get your spending under control and find that balance in your economy. That you're not getting paid enough but you're spending too much. Maybe some of you don't run yourself into debt. And if you get the opportunity to help those who are less fortunate, that never hurts. It always does a good thing if you can help, and look out for those of you that need it. That might resonate for some people that are looking for something new to do and have thought about charity work. That's a message to embrace it. So those of you that chose option 3, that is your reading. I hope that it has helped you in some way. Please let me know in the comment section if it's helped you at all. Thank you very much for listening to the reading. I wish you all the best of luck for the future, and please take care of yourself. Bye.